The story begins with a cold, calculated man named H. He is a security guard transporting a massive shipment of cash. Beside him sits his partner, a man known only as Bullet. Suddenly, their armored truck is forced to a halt. Thick, choking tear gas floods the cabin. H steps out into the haze, calm and unfazed. The attackers freeze when they see his face. They drop everything and flee like they have seen a ghost. Bullet is left stunned by the strange encounter. He tells his coworkers that there is something wrong with the new guy. Thugs do not just run away for no reason. 2 weeks earlier, this man walked into Fortico Securities. He introduced himself as Patrick Hill. The company specializes in moving enormous sums of money. They take responsibility for high-stakes cash deliveries. Terry, a high-ranking official, reviewed Patrick's impressive resume. He warned Patrick that this job is a death trap. 5 months ago, a van was ambushed in broad daylight. It looked like a routine road construction project. Workers had blocked the path with a heavy truck. Thieves in orange vests surrounded the armored van. They blew the door and tossed a grenade inside. Both guards were killed instantly in the blast. The thieves vanished with every cent in minutes. Terry asked if Patrick still wanted the job. Patrick gave a simple nod and accepted. Bullet met him shortly after the interview. He told Patrick to use the call sign H. He warned him to never reveal his real identity. H then began a grueling 60-hour training phase. He needed a 70% score to stay employed. Strangely, H scored the bare minimum to pass. His bullets hit the outer rings of the target. It looked like he was missing the center on purpose. He drove the truck with perfect, expert precision. Yet, he intentionally hit some boxes while reversing. Bullet introduced him to a team called Formula One. They use code names to stay anonymous and safe. This prevents anyone from finding their personal weaknesses. After training, H was finally handed his service weapon. He was ready to start his mysterious mission. Dave and John were preparing for a major delivery. Bullet decided to swap John out for H. Dave warned H about the dangers of the road. H simply said he would handle whatever comes. They set out in the armored truck together. Dave mentioned the robbery from 5 months ago. He should have been on that ill-fated truck. He took a random day off and escaped death. H asked him why he took that day off. He suspected an insider had helped the thieves. Dave claimed he just had too much to drink. They reached a building to pick up $2 million. Bullet took H inside to see his skills. They returned to the depot under heavy security. Every employee here must pass a strict search. H spent his break studying every employee's ID card. He was searching for a specific face or name. The other guards noticed that H stayed very quiet. One member tried to dig into his past. H claimed he worked for a big European firm. He shut the conversation down and walked away. His cold attitude made the other guards suspicious. The next day, things took a violent turn. H, Dave, and Bullet were on a small delivery. Suddenly, Bullet was taken hostage by a crew. The thieves demanded the $2 million in the truck. Dave panicked and wanted to follow company protocol. He suggested leaving Bullet behind to save the money. The kidnappers threatened to kill Bullet immediately. H told Dave they had to stand and fight. He argued that a life is worth more than cash. The kidnappers ordered Dave to bring the money. H took charge and told Dave to stay calm. He began throwing bags into the thieves' truck. He intentionally threw one bag short on the ground. A kidnapper stepped out to grab the fallen bag. In a flash, H drew his gun and fired. He moved like a professional, high-level assassin. He eliminated the entire crew with surgical precision. During training, he couldn't hit the center ring. Now, every single shot was a perfect headshot. H chased the gang leader into a warehouse. He demanded to know who the man worked for. The man refused to talk, so H killed him. Bullet and Dave arrived and stood in shock. H had wiped out a whole gang by himself. The police arrived to interrogate the mysterious guard. They suspected he was a foreign secret agent. H played it off as a lucky string of shots. He claimed he just got lucky under pressure. The police showed him footage of the first robbery. H lied and said he knew nothing about it. His senior placed him on a desk job for a month. They wanted to make sure he wasn't traumatized. H asked if he looked like a depressed man. The company owner walked in and praised him. He said the company needs more men like H. He called H a brave and unstoppable force of nature. Meanwhile, an undercover cop recognized H's face. He told his boss that the bureau had sought H for decades. The boss told him to stand down for now. He knew H wasn't there for the money. H was there to finish a very personal job. A mysterious woman met H and handed him a file. It contained data on every single company employee. It also included a graphic post-mortem report. H began to suspect a guard named Dana. He broke into her house and held her at gunpoint. He found a large stash of stolen cash there. Dana confessed she stole it from a liquor store. She wanted the money for her future retirement. H realized she wasn't the one he was looking for. He gave her a cold warning and disappeared. The story then shifts back 5 months in time. H was driving with his young son, Dougie. He received a call from a man named Mike. Mike was a criminal working for H's organization. He wanted H to scout a Fortico truck location. H was actually a high-level mafia kingpin. He agreed to help Mike with the scouting job. H parked near the depot and went for food. He left Dougie in the car to stay safe. He called Mike to give the truck's direction. As the truck passed under a bridge, Mike attacked. H's son watched the violent robbery happen. The thieves realized the boy was a witness. One thief decided to leave no survivors behind. He shot Dougie in cold blood right there. H ran toward the car to save his child. Another thief opened fire and riddled H with bullets. H collapsed as he watched his son die. He caught a glimpse of the killer's face. H survived the shooting, but his world was destroyed. His wife blamed him for their son's death. She left him, unable to look at his face. We learn that H is the leader of a massive gang. The people who robbed the truck were a different crew. H ordered his men to find the rival gang. They started a bloody war across the entire city. They eliminated every small gang in their path. Yet, the killers remained hidden in the shadows. Mike suggested the killers had inside information. H decided to go undercover to find the truth. He created a fake identity named Patrick Hill. He got a job at the very company that was robbed. He also obtained his son's autopsy report. He was hunting for the man who pulled the trigger. We then see the real killers in a hideout. They were former military soldiers turned thieves. Their leader was a man named Jackson. Among them was Jan, the man who killed Dougie. They were planning a massive final heist. They wanted to hit the Fortico cash depot. They were the ones who killed H's son. 5 months later, they prepared for the big day. They targeted Black Friday for the robbery. That is the day the depot holds the most cash. H and Bullet were out on a routine run. Bullet suddenly confessed his secret to H. He was the insider working for the thieves. Bullet had been Jackson's man all along. He tried to recruit H into the criminal plan. H pretended to agree to get closer to the killers. Bullet parked the truck in a secret location. Thieves crawled into the back of the armored van. They drove the truck straight into the depot. As soon as they arrived, they took everyone hostage. A brave guard managed to trigger the alarm. The police were now on their way to the scene. The guards tried to fight back against the crew. Jackson's men were wearing heavy military armor. H was tied up, but he saw his moment. He broke free and attacked the thieves. He stole a set of bulletproof armor for himself. Bullet finally revealed his true colors to the team. He murdered Dave and Dana without hesitation. The depot became a chaotic, bloody battlefield. Only Jackson, Bullet, and Jan were left alive. Jackson took a heavy bullet during the escape. They rammed through police cars in the truck. They fled into a garage with a hidden tunnel. Jackson was dying and suspected Jan of treachery. He thought Jan would kill them for the money. Jackson tried to draw his gun on Jan first. Jan was faster and slit Jackson's throat. Jan and Bullet fled through the tunnel on bikes. They reached a getaway car and loaded the cash. Jan did not want to share the massive fortune. He shot Bullet in the head and left him behind. Jan drove away, believing he had finally won. He went to his apartment to celebrate his wealth. He walked out of his bathroom, feeling like a king. Suddenly, a phone began to ring in a money bag. Jan picked it up and heard H's cold voice. H was already inside the apartment waiting. He had tracked Jan using a hidden device. H told Jan about the boy he killed that day. He revealed that Dougie was his only son. H placed the autopsy report on the table. He pointed to the entry wounds on the diagram. He promised to give Jan the exact same holes. H shot Jan in the specific organs listed in the report. It was a slow, agonizing, and poetic justice. H walked out as the FBI arrived at the scene. He left all the stolen money for the Bureau. His mission of vengeance was finally complete. He drove away into the night, a silent ghost. True justice often requires a very dark path. When the law fails, a father's wrath takes over. No amount of money can replace a lost life. Greed eventually destroys even the smartest criminals. Those who live by the sword always die by it. Revenge might not bring back the dead, but it settles the score. Always remember that actions have permanent consequences. Thank you for staying until the end of this journey. If you found this story powerful, please like it, share your thoughts in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel for more epic cinematic stories. See you in the next thrilling chapter.